Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we had another homework assignment. This was a homework assignment that I
Yes,
requested. It
yes.
was Amazon flick. Now, this is an old flick. This came out, what, 2018, 2019, something like
I
that?
think 2019.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is, we are talking about the
Invasion Earth.
Blackout
Yeah.
Invasion Earth. And this is a Russian film.
Yeah, all
With
in Russian, subtitles and everything.
Yes, so the dub was really interesting. It was put out by an American studio, Shout Studio. I
Mm,
think they're based out of LA. And the weird thing about this movie, well, not this movie, is that you know Netflix has been putting out a lot of Russian sort of films, right?
mm,
And
yeah.
TV series, right? So has Amazon. So the Russians, man, they're ticking it up with these movies now. We're gonna get
Yeah,
into the Blackout, and we're gonna see what's
I've
up.
been I've been hip to some of these movies since is it Night Watch? I think it's Day Watch and Night Watch. It's like
Mhm.
these two Russian movies that came out a long, long time ago. And it's kind of got it's like a horror vampire movie, but not
Mhm.
really. It is a wild movie. It's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. And like Russia has some crazy stuff that they've been working on when it comes to sci-fi and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
and
You
I
know
like it.
have you seen the movie The Wanted with Angelina Jolie and
Wait,
I forgot.
that's a Russian movie?
No, the director is Russian,
The
and he's the one that.
directors. Listen, today I am not going to mention any Russian names because I don't want to chop anything up, butcher
Yeah.
any names. But the Blackout Invasion Earth was a really, I thought, interesting movie. I
Yes, I
think
agree.
the graphics were pretty dope. The CGI visually was pretty dope. The
Mhm.
English dubs were like just so corny, like with the voices. It was just, I mean,
I just watched the subtitles. I didn't want to do the dub. But like
yeah,
I like some of this stuff that's coming out of Russia. Same thing with Korea.
yeah,
There's some really good movies and TV shows out of Korea. And I think that it kind of speaks to where we are with American TV because
yeah,
American TV does a lot of, reality TV and that kind of stuff. And I think I wouldn't say they peaked because there's really good shows that are still on. And we're going to talk about this another week. I
yeah,
guess next week we'll talk about the shows we're watching. But
right.
American TV has some really solid stuff, and I'm just expanded culturally to other countries right now.
Yeah,
So definitely, I watch South Korean stuff,
yeah,
and I've been more
all
and more
day.
watching some kind of Russian stuff too.
Yeah,
And this kind of stuff expanded my mind. Like, okay, let's talk about the Blackout
okay.
as a movie. I thought
Mhm.
that it asked some really interesting questions at the
Yeah,
end.
mhm,
And I wasn't prepared for that. I thought this was just a regular shoot 'em up, uh, action movie,
mhm.
and they they asked some really philosophical stuff at the end. I was like, "Where's it? Wow, okay." So
This,
like,
mhm,
I think that like if an American studio did it, they probably would have stuck the landing different.
mhm.
But they were going for it here, and I respect them for it. The sheer grand scale of what they accomplished here for this
Yeah,
movie
right.
is it feels really big, even
It
though I
does.
think that they only had like a couple locations,
Yeah,
and there's a couple of shootouts. The shootouts were crazy, but it has this global scale, even though they only show you this little section of Eastern Europe and Russia.
mhm.
So do you want to talk about what the plot is, or we want to just go into like the
Uh,
movie?
we can just speak very, quickly about the plot because it was, you know,
It was confusing at first.
it was
I would say it
confusing
took
at
me.
first. I mean, we probably don't even need to go into the plot. Let's just talk about some things that were confusing and what we thought about the movie.
Well,
And let me just bounce off of what you just said, right, about
mhm,
this Russian film, right? I've watched a couple Russian films on Netflix, and we're going to talk about that in a later
mhm,
podcast. But I'm I'm not even going to front, man. I'm pretty impressed with these Russian films and TV shows. You know,
Yeah.
they're the overdubs or the English dubs are corny, right? Just the voices, right?
I don't think you could fix that.
Right, but the plot and the storyline, I mean, I
Yeah.
like, and just everything about these movies that I've watched that are Russian movies, I like them. This is just entertainment, right? So with the
Yeah.
Blackout Invasion Earth, personally, I thought it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. Again, it was a little long, shave off 30 minutes,
You hate these long movies, but like, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I
And it was a little in the beginning, it was confusing because I
I
don't
think
know
that's
where the
cultural.
bears came from, dude. What was that
I
all about?
So okay, I'll give you a basic summary of
Okay,
what the
yeah, give
hell
it
was
to me.
going on.
Hmm.
Because I think a lot of people are watching this like, what the hell is happening right now? So
Okay. Hmm.
basically, in Moscow and this little circle around a certain area of Russia,
Hmm.
uh, they're the only place left on Earth that has power,
Right.
and everything else has been kind of decimated or they can't get a hold of. The satellites don't work. They
Hmm.
can't send any communications out there. And anybody who's gone outside of this little circle in Russia has died. So they're like in a complete and utter lockdown,
Hmm.
trying to protect this little base and trying to, have some kind of normalcy for the rest of this little circle of the
Right.
country. So at this military base, they are trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So they're sending teams out into these zones
Hmm.
and trying to at least get some kind of idea about what's happening. So I
Right.
like that they're not these kind of movies, they don't hold your hands. Like Hollywood
Yeah.
movies, they're
Hmm.
like, hey, everybody, it's going to be okay. It's this thing in the corner. You have to see
Yeah.
it, all right? You show you the thing in the corner. This is what's happening. Like, they're like, screw that. We're not even going to tell you anything that's going to happen for the next 34, 40
Yeah.
minutes.
Hmm.
You got to figure it out. Hang along or be left behind. So basically, they discover that they're in the middle of an invasion
From
and
aliens from another
from
planet
aliens that
who
are like,
arrived started the journey 200,000 years
yeah,
ago.
200,000 years ago,
Hmm.
these guys have seeded the planet Earth
Yeah.
with humans to get
Yes.
rid of the inhabitants,
Right.
which I was like, whoa, okay, there, I get it. All right.
And they
I can't
infected the
disagree with the
humans. They
logic.
infected like the Earth population. Basically they have been doing that since they had arrived.
Yeah,
It's
so
a very
basically,
interesting plot line, isn't it?
the humans
Hmm.
are the like we talked about the Tomorrow War,
Hmm.
and there's like an alien species that gets dropped on a planet,
Right.
and they kill everything off, and then the real aliens show up after.
Hmm.
Well, we are the alien species
Right.
that are
Hmm.
dropped on this planet,
Now
and
that's
we've been
more
mucking
realistic
it
though,
up.
right? Opposed to like creatures like, just like, oh, okay, this is another alien as an alien
Yeah,
movie. But these guys, these aliens, they came back as humans, even though you couldn't see their mouth. But I thought that was kind of cool that you couldn't see their mouth and the way they were sort of designed and
yeah.
everything. I
So
thought that was kind of sick.
so those aliens are the
Mhm.
original OG
The
version of
original,
what we turned into.
right?
So they said that they watered us down and then made us, kind of I don't know, we're just a basic species and we just go there and destroy everything. And then these guys show up and take over. And so that's what's happened here on Earth. The humans have been dropped off, they wreck shop, and these guys are coming on schedule to finish the job and take over.
Because they want
And
to live here.
we are their children, if you will. If you think
Right?
about, or not even children, I say we are their pets.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's a better level. If you want to know on the scale of where we stand, we are like dogs or bears or whatever. So
Yeah.
they have the first scale thing was the blackout. The second scale thing is like the animals attacking you. That's where the bears came from. And then
I don't, that's what I don't understand, dude. I mean, like, why bears? Why not squirrels?
Well, I
right?
think it's animals in general, but that part of Russia just has bears. So
Right, but why not Russian squirrels? Just like have like a million bazillion squirrels like attacking, you know,
well,
like
I think
super
that
squirrels.
I think it's some because the alien species they can use mind control or whatever.
Yeah,
So they've taken over the rest of the planet, and
that's
this
true.
little area is kind of unaffected for some reason,
Not for
and so
long.
they're kind of holding things up.
Right.
Now, I will say this:
Hmm.
as a plot goes, that is compelling right there. That is
Right.
very interesting. And once he said that, I was like, I want to see where this is going.
Yeah, So that was a good overview, and it says a lot because,
Mhm.
there were animals, bears, Russian bears who first attacked. And then there were these humans who were just like, I guess, transformed into these aliens to like kill off the rest of
They're
the
just drones.
humans. Right.
Yeah,
So that
they
then,
shoot up all the
this
humans and then they'll get
alien
rid of it.
planet, these aliens can come and live on the planet. That's what they wanted to do. Come and, occupy the
Yeah,
planet, live on the planet. They needed another planet. And the
uh,
plot line and the movie itself was a really good. Like I
it was
said, don't sleep on some of these Russian films. They are like kicking butt. I mean, and
it was really interesting.
they're okay with pushing the sci-fi sort of like limits a little bit. I've noticed that with some of the Russian sort of movies and TV series I've been watching. They're okay with pushing the boundaries of sci-fi. That's kind of cool, because like you said, here in America, we're sort of in these
Yeah, a
silos of how we're going to
little
sort of do
box.
things, right? So
Got to
it's
dumb it down for everybody.
it's so true, right? The what do you think about the visuals of it?
The visuals are really good. They were
Really
really
good,
good.
right? You
They
know,
were really the shootouts in the city blocks was
yeah.
crazy.
They were
They,
crazy, but I will say this about the shootouts, which was slightly not realistic, unrealistic.
oh, it's
Is
completely unrealistic.
Yeah, you sent out these like, just little groups of like these army sort of groups, and it was like 10
Mhm.
people, right?
Yeah,
And then the aliens, it was like thousands of them.
it was just
And they
hundreds of
had
thousands of them
guns.
just
Right.
laying down the block, and they all had guns too. It wasn't like
No,
they were just
yeah.
walking like zombies or whatever.
Trying to
They
like
were
eat people, right? Hmm.
those dudes were shooting back, and they had
Hmm.
great aim. They were lighting up the soldiers, which is
They
like
had
it kind of
mhm.
it had like a different take on a zombie thing when you think
Yeah,
about it. Like this is technically a zombie movie because it's like mindless things
right.
that are out there, and it's a survival.
Some time travel too. But see, that's, with the
Yeah.
zombie movies, um, when you talk about there has to be an evolution of a
Mhm.
zombie movie, and this was an evolution of a zombie movie, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they were
without the
not
fighting.
right. They were not like, walking around as humans with like, face all bloodied up and everything. They were just like,
Yes,
yo,
regular people.
right. Someone just came and touched us, and now we are part of this, alien,
Mhm.
species, and this is what we have to do, right? So it's a little
Mhm.
different. Um, I'm always into sort of military style movies because
Yeah.
I'm just a military buff. I just like, the
Mhm.
history of military and wars and things of that nature. So it was pretty interesting. The, again, the English dubs were just like terrible,
Yeah,
absolutely terrible. Just
they're
like,
really bad.
I
I
mean,
couldn't do it. I was like, I'm just gonna give me the subtitles. Like, I can't do it.
really,
For a lot of these movies and TV, shows, especially Korean stuff. I just watch the subtitles. I can't do the dubs
yeah.
because it's so bad.
Well,
There's no way not to make it bad.
right. I like to when some of these foreign movies, I like to sort of check them out like in English, and then I'll
Mhm.
go back and like just watch it in their own language and its original language. So
Mhm.
I'll like say, okay, so it's in French or it's in Russian or it's in like Icelandic or something like that. Just like, hey, okay, this is pretty cool. Just to watch
Mhm.
it in that language. But the blackout was I thought that this movie was it was a sleeper, because I was like, it looks pretty interesting. I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
Then when I
I
watched
have
it, I was
no
like,
idea what it was about.
this is a sleeper, and this is a good movie. I mean, again, just to say, hey, I want to watch a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You're into stuff like that. You come across the Blackout Invasion Earth on Amazon Prime. This is a pretty good movie to sit back and check out. Now, I will say this, and I've said this, I think on every podcast in terms of things we reviewed, it could have been shorter. It could have been shorter.
Yeah. They let scenes go on for a while, and then there's stuff I didn't need to see.
Yeah.
Like the guy's mother, I didn't need to see that. You're just like,
Why?
hey, I'm whatever, Igor,
Right.
whatever his name is. I'm like,
Right.
hey, I'm new here.
Why
Let's
do
go.
we
Just
need to
go
see
into
that?
it.
Right, exactly.
I know they're kind of, that's the writing 101 of we need to make you care about this character or whatever. Because he had the interaction with the press lady, and the other guy who was wealthy, he was talking to the supermodel doctor,
Yeah.
whatever that was. That's the middle, that's your Eastern Europe, right? That's doctors look like that, all right? What are you gonna do?
Right. Exactly. But it's there were a lot of things you didn't have to. There were a lot of like dead parts that they were trying to fill up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, an American movie would have cut that movie different. A studio would have cut it a little bit different.
It still would have been long, though.
Yeah, it would have been long, but they would have sped it up and add more action or something like that.
Right.
Less talking.
Yeah.
Like the scene when they're on the rooftop at the end of the movie, I think they would have handled that a lot different.
Right.
And I like the fact that they're like, you know what, we're just going to talk. We're going to do it like this. And the funny part to me, without giving away what the movie is, in case anybody watches it, is that they lived up to their nature at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They did everything this guy said they were going to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. Because at first, when they ended, like, I was like, but I thought about it. I was like, no, this is right. This is exactly the problem. These guys did everything.
He basically said, "Oh, you're going to do this. Why? Because you're human. It's your nature.
Yeah, this is your nature.
This is your nature. It's just like
yeah."
And that was compelling in it of itself because
if the movie ended right there, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, that was compelling in and of itself because it's like, wow, this is like what we as humans in the world we do. We try to conquer things. We try to just all this ridiculousness we try to do. If there is other sort of species and other things out there in outer space, they see this, and they're probably like, yeah, this is what these people do. This is how they live, so we can easily come in and sort of do whatever we wanted to do or whatever, But the movie itself, like I said, I was pretty impressed with just that I was watching a Russian film and it was really good and compelling.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
What's up?
What did you think about what they did on the spaceship when they got on there?
Okay.
Because I always say this, like, if the movie ended at the rooftop, I would have been like, 9 out of 10, great movie. I love the ending, whatever. And then they got to the spaceship, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you do from here on out.
Yeah. The doctor and the journalist, the person from the press, like, get rid of them. It's just like, I mean, you went into this spaceship, figured out that this is how you can kill all of these aliens, right?
You wiped out their whole species,
right?
Except for this one section,
because that section was all kids. So you mean to tell me you do not understand that? Hey, you know what? These kids are going to grow up and they are going to resent you because they look totally different than like 100% of the population on Earth. And you don't think that they have the powers and everything else. That was sort of the goofy part
powers,
of it.
Man. I don't know. Like that ending, I don't see. Thing is, too, I was thinking that, well, this is gonna blow up in your face at some point in time. I know you feel good about, you feel good about this moment right
Because you
now with
saved the
doing.
kids.
Yeah, you
Oh,
save the kids,
oh.
but these guys are coming here to destroy you.
They're coming to kick some butt, dude.
Like at some point in time,
Mm,
these alien kids who have psychic abilities and can control your mind are going to eventually grow up. And then you're going to have a whole world of problems here.
right.
You basically just delayed the invasion for 10, I don't know how they age, maybe 20 years. Maybe it's the same genealogy as humans. See,
Oh,
maybe you saved the earth for 20 years. Okay, maybe.
mm-hmm.
They're eventually going to grow up. And you don't even know what they know before
Becoming
they went into
Swiss
cryo
cheese
sleep.
folks for real. Do you think that, okay, because of that, do you think that we are going to see a second version? Maybe something coming along the side of that or what?
I don't know. I don't really know too
Because the
much about
kids
like
are
direction.
alive.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem, dude. Come on.
It doesn't. I don't have to be a genius to realize that you should have finished the job here. And I know it sounds callous or whatever, but
No, I would have
you
Swiss
can't
cheese
have
those
these
joints
things
up
here.
for real.
You cannot have these things here.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming, and I think the whole time I was watching, I was thinking like, okay, but like you don't know how old they are and what they know.
Yeah.
They could be like, we're coming to Earth, and our pets are gonna be. They're gonna wipe out the country for us,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna take over. You don't know that.
It was a little silly on that level, but again, overall the movie was pretty good. What did you think about the visuals, the CGI, the graphics, everything
I
else?
think it was solid because you
It
gotta
was
think
solid,
about like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
the the special effects companies are worldwide now. So, like a movie like The Avengers, they have like 5 or 6 studios that are around the world that are doing
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
it's not limited to only like how where Star Wars was created, right?
Mm-hmm.
George Lucas was the only person who knew how to do this thing,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and then he created Lucasfilm,
Right.
and then Industrial Light and Magic was they gave their skills out to other people, and then all these movie studio houses started being formed to do special effects. So
Mm-hmm.
like it wasn't a thing that was limited to the mind of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody, this is worldwide. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to think about like the technology. Everyone's got the same computers,
Right.
and it just really comes down to visuals. What you can come up with your own brain,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I like watching these foreign movies because that cultural thing that they look at the world differently from us.
They have no
So
boundaries.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's no studio notes from like, hey, can you get rid of this person? Maybe
Yeah.
put a janitor in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
maybe probably for some jokes or whatever. Like they're like, screw that. We're gonna do this crazy movie with aliens that take over, and
Yeah.
the aliens are the good guys. All right, like, what do you think about that? Like,
Uh,
think so? Yeah,
it's
like I
pretty
say, like
cool. Mm-hmm.
the fact that this visual stuff is so like it's universal now, and you can see it when you watch other movies from other countries. This is universal, and I love that. I love that this is exported to everybody now.
Mm-hmm.
So visually, I thought it was stunning visually
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because it had the feel of like this is Denny. I forgot his name. I can't pronounce his name. He did the Arrival movie. He's doing Dune. It kind of had that feel for the spaceship and that kind of stuff, and the
Right.
bleakiness of the world. It kind of
Mm-hmm.
had that feel. I don't know. I have to check what the special effects company did it, but like visually I liked it. I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
great,
Yeah.
and I hope they do more stuff like this. Or I need to check out this director and see what else he did. Maybe
Igor, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna like butcher his name, but I do. This guy has done a lot of stuff, right?
yeah,
I thought the movie,
Arnold.
yeah. Mm, I thought I agree with you. I concur. Like everything what you just said, like the visually it was stunning. Um, graphics, everything else was on point. Um, I think these foreign filmmakers they have no boundaries, so they're able to sort of explore their creativity when it comes to these movies. It's just like the American like film industry. We're sort of like, this is how you do a zombie movie, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's all
And
you get.
that's you're right. You know, this is how we do it, right? So I think
Mhm.
these foreign films, they have no boundaries. They're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make this film, and the
Mhm.
zombies or the aliens are gonna be the good guys. You know, the foreign films are pushing the boundaries a lot
Yeah.
more than what we do here in America, and I really like that.
The fact is that these other countries are taking these things, these properties that Americans have, or North America has.
Yeah,
I'll include Canada in there too.
right. And they're
And they're
pushing
saying
it,
we don't have a
pushing it.
box. There's no
They're
box
pushing
here.
it. Yes,
We're gonna go over
exactly.
here. We're gonna try this thing over here. We're gonna go over here and try
Yep.
this thing over here.
Right.
And eh, I got to be honest, man. It is more compelling than the standard fare movies that are on
Yeah.
TV right now.
Exactly.
By
Here in North
far, not even
America.
close. Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
By far, it's so much more compelling.
I've
And
I've realized that some of the films that I've been watching that I'm really into are films that are being created like
mm,
in other countries, right?
mm,
You know, I've been watching. Well, I finished up. I think it was 4 or 5 episodes. But Resident Evil is like a new sort of like
mm,
anime sort of thing, but it's done in that sort of steampunk sort of way. Um,
okay.
like really it's awesome. I
Mm,
mean, this the realism of it. And it's like, and it's a new Netflix original, so that's pretty cool too. What these foreign film like houses are doing, they are doing things that North America does not want to do, or that maybe they are
too
afraid to do.
scared.
Think outside the
I'll,
box, right?
I'll say it. I'll flat out
Mhm.
say it. They are too scared to do.
Yes, exactly.
They don't have the balls to pull any of this stuff off.
It's like with and we're gonna wrap this up. It's like with the Transformers. I love the Transformers. I think I love the
Mm,
animated Transformers, that's the Netflix original, more so than the movies. I think
yeah.
with anime, uh, there's so much flexibility you have to just do more awesome things.
Mm, yeah.
So that's one of the
Unlimited.
reasons why I like that. Yeah. Listen, this is the Blackout. We're talking about the Blackout, Invasion Earth. It's a Russian film. It's on Amazon Prime.
Mm.
Give me your rating on that.
I would say I I'll give it an 8. I give it an 8. Even though I didn't necessarily like the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Hmm.
I They had to do something, so they had to go in there. So I'm not mad at it. I just would have done a different thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it took away from what this movie was. I give it a solid 8. It
Yeah.
was listen, it had a horror vibes. And it was really
True.
compelling. The story was really interesting because you didn't know what the hell was going on. But even if you did know what was going on, you wanted to see what's going to happen next. And this kind of stuff I like. When I started watching it, I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
I was just guzzling down the popcorn. I was like, I
Mhm.
can't wait. I want to see where this goes. And
Right.
to me, that's the hallmark of a good movie. When I'm like, I don't care how long this day's ride is. I just want to
Hmm.
see where it goes. And I absolutely loved the visuals and everything of this movie. It was great,
Yeah.
excellent movie.
I am going to concur with you. I gave this movie an 8 as well because this is a Russian film, and like I said, if you check out Russian films on Amazon or Netflix, they are totally different than what you see
Mhm.
here in North America. They push the boundaries. The visuals of the Blackout Invasion Earth were awesome. Even though I think that this movie could have been shorter, you
Mhm.
know, I still gave it an 8 because this was a movie I sat down, I didn't pause it, go get a drink or something like this. I wanted to
Yeah,
watch this all the way through, even through the corny parts, right? You know,
yeah, yeah.
but it was a really good film. Like I said, everything was on point. Visuals, the storyline, even though it could have been shorter, that was really on point. And
It asked
listen,
interesting questions.
yeah, I mean, don't sleep on these foreign films. Like I said, I've seen some foreign, some specifically some Russian
Mhm.
films that are pretty awesome. And the French, the Swedes, people, producers coming at films coming out of
Right, yeah.
Iceland. they are like, I don't even think catching up to us. I think that they're saying we're going to do something different than the Americans or the Canadians or just in North America. You know, we're going to do something different than this box they're in. And they're doing a really good job at that. So I really like this film. If you're looking for something to watch and you're on Amazon, the Blackout Invasion Earth is awesome.
Yeah, you got to give the caveats though. It's a horror movie with sci-fi elements.
Yes.
And it's kind of bloody in parts, right? It's very bloody in parts.
Yeah.
It's very mature.
A lot of bang bang, a lot of army stuff, you know, a lot of horror stuff, but not like in the traditional sort of zombie way you may think of like here in North America. Yeah. Very compelling. Again, something to watch if you're into stuff like that. It's we both gave it an 8. We both liked it. And I don't know, man. I hope they can, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what else this Russian sort of producer does. And who knows? Maybe he produced some of this stuff that I'm watching on Netflix. So we will see.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that. I want to see what else is going on here.
Definitely. Well, there you have it, folks. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I'm DJ Keo.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And until next time, peace.
All right.